Hi everyone, my name is Beth Simpkins and I'm coming to you from Georgia. This is my BCOM 400 project number 2 video. My chapter was chapter 10, Communication and Diverse Workplaces. And one of the central themes to chapter 10 is that it is becoming increasingly hard to have a balance between home and work. There are certain things in play that make it difficult for an employee to find this balance that they need. One being that when asked, the average employee said they worked 47 to 50 hours and that overtime was becoming the norm. Also, influencing it is that mothers are actually coming back after they're having their babies, especially the higher earning ones. The higher wage salaried moms are coming back. And of course, over the past 20, 30, 40 years, we've had an influx of women coming into the workforce, and more of them are becoming higher ranking in some of these companies. So the question becomes, how can an employer make itself appealing to these employees that need this balance between work and home? Well, the first thing to look at is, what does balance do? Balance improves the staff morale, the staff motivation, and the staff productivity. You have employees who are more likely to go that extra mile when you're working with them and they actually have job satisfaction. You make yourself an employer of choice. These people who need this, they come looking for these employers. So they're actually looking for these qualifications in an employer before they even apply for these jobs. It reduces staff turnovers and absenteeism. When you're working with your employees and they're doing what they need to do and you're getting what you need, generally they're not going to leave these jobs. So it reduces that turnover rate. So then the question becomes, what can an employer do to make itself appealing? What kind of things can it put in place? Well, it can look at providing flexible working arrangements for the employees. It can get flexible location, let the employees work from home, let them work from another location that's more convenient. This is also known as teleworking. They can provide flexible hours, changing the start or end date time of the day. Maybe that mom needs to get her kid to school in the morning and needs to come in 30 minutes late. I know that my employer lets me come in 30 minutes later so that I can get my daughter to school in the morning. And that is very, very important to me when looking at, employers and where I want to be. You can work with flexible pattern, work longer days to have that Friday off or have that Monday off, to get those things done, so that your employees are not taking off random days to get things done, to go to doctor's appointments or whatever it is they have to do. You can look at job sharing, with 2 or more sharing one full-time job. Someone needs morning, someone needs afternoon. They can fill a whole full-time job by having the 2 part-time people. And that may be something that, they're looking for. Another thing a business can look at is the leave arrangements. Now, under the Fair Work Act of 2009, an employee has to work for the employer for up to 12 months before they're eligible. However, leave arrangements that you can look at are unpaid parental leave, which may be up to 12 months and includes adoption leave, or perhaps some of that parental leave can be paid. Another thing to look at is family care leave, letting your employee leave when there is a family emergency. You can look at letting them purchase leave, which they work for less pay in order to purchase maybe 4 weeks of leave more than what they have. Another thing that's really nice for moms and family employees is unpaid school holidays, because most of your daycares are not going to be open on those holidays, and it's very nice to offer those families or those moms those days off unpaid so that they can be with their children and watch their children. Other things that a company can look at are workplace policies. Now, an employer always needs to talk to the employees because it helps to get a feel for what your employees need. But once you get that feel, you can offer things such as subsidies for childcare, return to work support if someone needs to come in part-time and work their way up to full-time, any kind of support that you can give them coming into full-time, or what's known as keeping in touch days, which is up to 10 days when someone is on unpaid parental leave. They can come in and work for maybe an hour or two, or they can do some telecommuting work for an hour or two and get paid for it, but it doesn't affect their leave. So it's keeping in touch with the business and that employee without really messing up their leave. Now, it does have to be taken in a single episode, and you do only have up to 10 days. But that's something that an employer can look at. So then you have to decide who's eligible. Well, eligibility comes to employees that have a child of school age or younger, or someone who's responsible for the care of a child school age or younger, or 55 years or older, or experiencing family or domestic violence, or an immediate family member needs support who's experiencing domestic violence. All of these people may be eligible for these benefits. But of course, all of them are under the Fair Work Act of 2009 and need to be looked at. So how does a company go about getting these requests from their employees? Well, they receive them in writing. And a company can refuse any of these when put in place if it is too expensive to implement, or the results are a significant loss in productivity, or it reduces the level of customer service, or it is simply impractical to change other work arrangements for this one particular employee, or you have to recruit a new employee to accommodate what the employee is needing. These are reasons why an employer can, once they put those policies in place, can actually refuse if they choose. But they usually you'll look for an alternative. Now, alternatives that they can look at are, make sure the staff knows about the policies and their rights, stay informed about the company's rights, encourage all employees to talk about the flexible arrangements, respond to all requests in a timely manner, usually within 21 days, and discuss the request with the employee. So for an employee, you can go to Working Mother, which is a magazine, and they actually have a list of employers who actually put into concrete some of these policies. The top ones being Capital One, A.T. Kearney, Abbott, ADP, Allstate, and American Express. Because we all need to be with an employer who really appreciates the balance between work and home. Thank you.